Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Attorney Ebony. I'm an immigration attorney located in New Jersey. However, I represent clients in all 50 states and around the world with immigration-related matters. If this is your first time joining me, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I ask that you please subscribe and also hit the like button so that, the algorithm will help me out with the channel, and also share this information with anyone who might be interested in these types of topics. If you know anyone who might be interested in these topics, please also share the videos with them as well. So today I'm going to be talking about the marriage-based green card and why it's important for you to prepare for your interview. If you are applying for a marriage-based green card, then you and your spouse, in most cases, will have to attend a green card interview. And the purpose of the green card interview is so that USCIS can meet you and your spouse and ask you a series of questions to confirm that your marriage is real and genuine. To ensure that you have a successful interview, you and your spouse will want to prepare ahead of time. Be sure that you come to the interview on time. 2, you bring copies of your application and original copies of all the supporting evidence that you submitted to USCIS. But you also want to make sure that you're prepared. You can also bring evidence of new supporting documents showing that you've had an ongoing bona fide marriage. So, for example, if you've since bought a house together since applying for the green card, you can bring evidence of your purchase. If you've had children since you applied, you want to bring copies of your children's birth certificates and pictures of the kids if you have them. Maybe you've been on vacation, family vacations. You can also bring copies of the trips, and any supporting evidence that will show that you've had a continuously bona fide, real, genuine marriage since you've applied for your green card. Now, you want to review your paperwork ahead of time. So before your interview, you and your spouse should both review all of the questions and all of the answers that you submitted on every document, and also review the supporting evidence that you submitted as well. Now, this is important because USCIS is going to use this information as the basis of your interview. So if there are any inconsistencies on your application with how you answered the questions at the interview, this can go ahead and raise a red flag in the eyes of the immigration officer. In addition to reviewing your paperwork, you want to spend time with your spouse reviewing facts around your relationship, such as how did you meet? How is your relationship going? How did it develop? Why did you decide to get married? The immigration officer will ask you a series of questions to determine whether you are genuinely married and that you intend to build a future together, or whether you're just committing immigration fraud in order to get a green card. So if you do not remember an answer for whatever reason, do not lie. It is not the end of the world. If you don't remember something, we are all human beings. We make mistakes. We forget things. It's natural. It happens. However, be sure that you are not forgetting important details regarding your marriage, such as when you actually got married, right? How did you meet? These are very, very important. And it could raise red flags to the immigration officer if you do not remember. Also, lying at your interview may lead to your green card application being denied. The purpose of reviewing and preparing ahead of time is so that you and your spouse can work together to make sure that you remember important facts, and so that you can be consistent with the details around your marriage and your relationship. So I always stress to my clients, and I also help them with this, to prepare for the interview. Even if you've been together for 10 years, even if you've been together for 3 years, even if you know each other more than anybody else in the world, it is still very important for you to prepare for this interview. Okay, so now you've prepared. How should you dress? For your interview, you want to dress neatly and you want to dress professionally. So be sure that you and your spouse are both dressed in this way. You don't want to show up wearing completely opposite styles of clothes. So for example, if one spouse shows up in athleisure wear and the other spouse shows up in business casual, this could appear to the immigration officer that both of you didn't get dressed together in the same home before coming to the interview. And that's a red flag. So you want to be sure that you coordinate. Okay? What will they ask me on the interview? I get this question a lot as well. Immigration officer will ask a series of questions to both you and your spouse. These questions will range from questions about the development of your relationship, the wedding, your regular routine, questions about your home and maybe other family members. They can ask questions about children if you have any. They can ask questions about celebrations, holidays. They can even ask questions about your past marriages. So if you've been married before, they can bring that up. They can ask you in the interview questions about that, previous petitions, and so forth. The officer will also ask additional questions based on how you answer your previous questions. So for example, if the officer asks you, do you live in a house or an apartment? They could follow up with a question such as, who pays for the mortgage? Okay. If the interview, for whatever reason, is not going as planned and there has been some inconsistencies in your answers, the immigration officer could develop doubts about your marriage being bona fide. And you and your spouse could be asked to do a second interview. And this interview is known as the Stokes interview. The second interview is a fraud interview. Although not every couple that is asked to do a second interview is actually committing marriage fraud, this interview will be more probing. So if this happens to you, you might want to consider hiring an immigration attorney to attend this interview with you. In some cases, couples could be actually separated at the initial interview if the officer has doubts about the relationship. Okay? It's very important, no matter how well, again, very important, no matter how well a couple feels that they know each other, to prepare for this interview, okay? It is better to be prepared than to risk being denied based on a poorly coordinated interview, okay? So I stress that, and I stress it so much that you should prepare and go over your documents before the marriage-based interview. I hope that you found this information helpful. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button. And if you know anyone who you feel might benefit from this information, please share it with them. Also, if you'd like to receive a free copy of my ebook, it's called The Marriage Green Card Guide. Learn how to get a green card within the United States in 3 easy steps. You can go ahead and click the link in the description to get a free copy of that book. Also, if you know anyone else who needs this information, you can also share this with them. Again, click the link in the description for a copy of this book. All right. If you want to set up a call with me directly to discuss your case in particular, please feel free to call my office. My number is 201-565-0099. You can visit my website and also schedule a consultation online. Feel free to leave a message in the comments section and let me know if there are any other immigration topics that you'd like for me to cover on this platform. I love to hear from you. Again, if you want to speak to me directly, you have my information. It's on the screen. Give me a call and I'll be more than happy to go over your immigration case with you. Thanks again. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Until next time, take care.